because now there is no any extra layer. Like in previous one we have the scene 1 and scene 2, so now our two scenes are separated, so we can animate those stuff easily. Okay, now over here we need to do our second animation. Now first thing first, we need to create one background, so let's press Ctrl N again, and we are going to call it as BG02 because this is going to be background for second one. So hit OK, and after that I'm going to select my ellipse tool, and I don't need any fill, so I'll delete this fill. And for the stroke I'm going to choose white color, and let's choose 20 pixels, and by holding shift create one ellipse. Let's select this, press Ctrl Alt Home, go to the align tab, align it horizontally and then align it vertically, and go and let's increase the size of this. Then go to the ellipse one, ellipse path, and we are going to create one keyframe at size. Go to the add menu and we are going to choose trim path. Go to the trim path and let's make this end value to somewhere around 90, or let's say somewhere around over here, let's say 75. Okay, so we are getting something like this. Now let's select this and hit U. We will hit Ctrl D. I'm going to select this and I'm going to increase the size of this. Again hit Ctrl D, select this and increase the size of this. Select this, hit Ctrl D, increase the size of this. Again hit Ctrl D, select this and increase the size of this, or I don't think we need fifth one, I think 4 one is enough. Let's select all of them and hit W, and you can rotate it the way you want. I'm going to rotate it like this, and let's keep it as it is, and select this last one and let's rotate it somewhere around like this. Okay, this looks good to me. Now let's select all of them and hit U, then go somewhere around 1.20 and create another keyframe like that. Go to the start, let's select all of them, and in search option we are going to type stroke and create one keyframe on each stroke width somewhere around like this, and hit U. Go to the end and let's create one keyframe each over here as well. Then go to the start and select all of them, and let's make this value 0, 0 and 0. I'm creating 0 value at the stroke. Similarly select all of them and let's create one 0 value on size as well. Okay, so we are getting this kind of stuff. Now along with that we need animation as well, so press R for rotation, alt click on this stopwatch and let's search for time star 50 and copy that expression and hit Ctrl C. Alt click on this one, hit Ctrl V, and now instead of plus 50 I'm going to type minus 50. Then again alt click over here, hit Ctrl V. We are not going to type minus 50 over there. Alt click over here, hit Ctrl V, and over here type minus 50. Okay, so now if you hit U, we are gonna get this kind of rotating animation. Select those keyframe and hit F9 to ease those. Go to the graph editor, select this graph by holding shift, move one handle over here, select this and move another handle over here. So we will get something like this. Let's select this and let's try to adjust it somewhere around like this. Okay, over here. Now hit your U so we can see all the keyframes. Okay, then let's select this stroke width by holding shift, keyframes, move them, select this by holding shift, and let's move them a little bit forward somewhere around like this as well, so you will get a little bit somewhere like that. Or instead of that you can select this size as well and you can bring them a little bit forward, so you will get weird I mean not weird but different results. Okay, so we will get something like this. Now I want this animation should be one by one, so I'm going to take a distance of 10 frames. I'll select this, move this over here, select this, move this over here, select this and move this over here like that. So now if you see this animation, we will get this kind of animation over here. Okay, then select this first one. I'm going to press T and let's make this opacity 100. Select this, press T, let's make this opacity around 60. Select this, press T, let's make this opacity 40. Select this, press T and let's make this opacity 10 or maybe like that. So if you see this now, we are getting this kind of animation. Okay, now select all of them and hit Ctrl D to duplicate it, and let's bring them at the top, and I'm going to bring them a little bit over here, and in search option I'm going to type stroke. Okay, and now they will only show us stroke width keyframes. Select all of the stroke width keyframes of this extra layer and simply delete it, and stroke width I'm going to choose 10 only. Okay, and press T for opacity, and let's decrease the opacity of each and every one to 100. Okay, like that. If you want even less you can choose like 5 or even 2 as well. Okay, Then you can right click new and create one null object, select all of them and make it a parent with this null. Select this null, press R for rotation and let's rotate it like that. Okay, a little bit. So now if you see this animation, you will get this kind of stuff. Okay, now I'm happy with this results. Let's go to the scene 1, I mean scene 2 maybe, and hit Control 0 and we will bring our BG2 over here after the nucleus, and this thing should get animated. Let's go to the main animation comp and this thing should get animated somewhere around like this. So if you see this now, we are getting this kind of stuff. So we will get this, if you see this is our first atom, then after that if you see this now, we will get this cold transition. Okay, now there is another thing we need to do. If you see this in full resolution, we will get this kind of stuff. Now I don't want this white background because our nucleus contains bluish color. So what we can do, we can go to the effect and presets panel and we are going to search for 4-color gradient again. Okay, so apply that 4-color gradient and we are only going to choose the color which are involved over here. So let's select this. I'm going to select this color. Over here let's select this color. Over here I'm going to pick up this color, and over here if you want you can choose different color as well. I'm happy with this kind of color combinations, and let's select this and we are getting this kind of animation. Okay, so this is our scene 2 animation. Now along with that I need some extra background elements over there. So now BG02 is there. Let's create another one. So press Ctrl N and let's call it as BG03. Okay, now in this one we need some ton amount of elements that are going to get animated. So I'm going to press Ctrl N and I'm going to call it as line animation, and we are going to do some ton amount of animations over there. So let's see how we can do that. Now over here we are going to create some line animation, and that line animation is gonna get created with the help of trim path and with the help of ellipse. So first thing first, we need to decide our path. So for that we need to create our path. So let's select this pen tool and we are going to choose stroke width of 2 pixels. Then from here to here to here to here, I'm just creating a random shape. There is no theory or any specifications for the stroke. You can choose and do the way you want. I'm going to create this random shape by holding shift over here, and at the end I'm going to make complete this one. Okay, but make sure that it's gonna get connected like this. Okay, so this is going to be my shape. After that I'm going to select this fill and I'm going to choose white and delete this stroke. I don't need that, and by holding shift I'm going to create one small ellipse like that. Then select this and press Ctrl Alt Home to align that anchor point to the center. Then select this shape layer, press go inside this contains shape path, and we will create one keyframe at the path just like we did in our atom. We will select this and hit Ctrl C, select the shape layer, press P, select this and hit Ctrl V. So now if you hit see this ellipse is moving along with this path. Okay, now let's select this and select this position, and by holding Alt I'm going to bring this up to 15 frames. Okay, let's go to the 15 frames over here like this, and by holding Alt let's bring this over here like this. Now there should be animation of trim path over here, so let's try to do that. Let's go to the add menu and we are going to choose trim path. Go to the trim path and let's make this value somewhere around 80, and just I'm going to increase the size of the stroke just for the understanding, and let's try to do it so like that. Okay, and let's try to bring this offset in such a way that the end of the stroke should be behind this ellipse. So let's make this end value to 50 like that, and we have to adjust in such a way that the end of this part should get over here. Okay, so let's make this 180 like that.